welcome to this week's episode of Happily Ever Caffeinated, your weekly wedding video series where we get stupid high on coffee and talk about weddings. I am your host, Jessie, co-founder of Photo Bohemia. And if the gentleman sitting to my left looks familiar to you, it is because we had him on our show once before last year.
The best show.
Some of our viewers, all two of our fans, for some reason liked...
They're clamoring for my return. And here it is.
For all two of you, you're welcome. He's decided to interview me. I don't know what's going to happen. I have not heard his questions, so we'll see how this goes.
I haven't thought of any questions. Tonight on the Coffee and Wedding Show, we're going to get to the bottom of wedding photography and what that's all about. My special guest on my show, the Coffee and Wedding Show, is Jessie, one of the people behind and responsible for Photo Bohemia. Let's find out what that's all about right now. What is Photo Bohemia?
Photo Bohemia is a company that we were inspired to do. My husband and I had Stellic Photo for many...
Does your husband have a name?
His name is Pavel.
Pavel.
But everybody calls him Paul. That's my husband.
Oh, look, it's Pavel's Spinners. Special effects.
So he was a photographer for many, many years before I met him, and then we started doing weddings together.
He's no longer a photographer?
He is still a photographer, but mostly I stand in front of his lens all day and piss him off.
How do you learn to take photos? How do you know when you buy a $1,000 camera which end to look through and which end steals the soul of the subject?
Both ends steal the soul.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
What are the standard wedding poses that people look for? Did your microphone just fall off? Have you not done this before? What are the standard poses or settings that people want from one? There's the hands over hands with the rings. There's the smashing of the cake into each other's face. There's the, I'm carrying her over the threshold of an imaginary building. Oh, I'm holding her by her ankles off of a railroad trestle. I'm shaking down her father for more money.
I mean, those are the obvious standard poses.
Do you do those, or because you're Photo Bohemia, do you shoot for a more artsy angle?
We go by what our clients' personalities are.
Oh, but so they determine.
Well, there are general positions that the human form looks pleasant in, and we know how to position you, but within that, we don't like the posy, like you have to stay like this for a half an hour now.
Why?
Because that looks very fake and traditional.
That's how people are after they get married. They're in their homes like this.
We prefer them to, once they're in the pose, we tell them to breathe and to communicate and to talk and to squeeze each other and laugh and have fun. Like we mess with it. So it depends on their personality. Like if they're silly, crazy people, we'll mess with them and have them do silly, crazy things. If they're subdued, sweet, quiet, gentle people, we'll do romantic, sweet, quiet, gentle things.
So this is an elaborate prank.
It is.
This is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. By the way, since we haven't really properly introduced you, can you tell the people who you are? Because I don't think we covered that in your...
I'm Clark Brooks, stand-up comedian and comedy writer. I can be found at clarkbrooks.com. Speaking of weddings, the hot topic around weddings is the cake. Who makes the cake? Who gets to have the cake? Who gets to have the cake made for them? Do you take pictures of cake? Do you eat cake? Have you ever had a wedding cake?
You like cake, don't you?
Who doesn't like cake?
So,
I'm pro-cake. I don't know why you're anti-cake.
I've never been anti-cake.
Then why are you arguing with me?
I'm not
It's
arguing
ridiculous.
with you.
Can't get along with people.
Cake is made by cake makers.
Cake makers? Is that the name? Is that the name of the person who makes the cake?
You go to a cakery.
Cakery?
And you get your cake made.
I think you know more about photography than cake making.
I do.
When you take a picture of a cake, what's the important angle to have? What's the f-stop?
Wow, you know the word f-stop.
I'm an expert. I studied up for this. What equipment? Do you have to have a truck with a trailer to show up at the wedding for all the stuff you have to haul? It's not just a camera, right? You have to bring a camera and a heat shield and an f-stop and a tripod and lights. Lights are important.
Lights are very important.
Do you have to bring all that stuff? And
we actually come very compact because a wedding is almost like a sporting event where you are running from location to location all day. And
also nobody wants all your crap in the way when they're trying to set up the electric slide and stuff.
And we don't want your grandmother tripping over our items and things like that.
Don't we?
So what we do is we have our bags and we usually keep them on us, and we have lenses and cameras and flashes. Oh my.
When does the wedding photography start? Like the morning of, when everyone's getting dressed and ready?
These are very insightful questions.
I know.
We usually show up 2 hours before the ceremony starts.
Okay.
So we can get the bride's details, the bride getting ready, get over to the groom's room, getting ready, get over to the ceremony, get the details of people coming in, guests arriving, things like that. And then we stay up until, usually it's like right after the cake cutting is the first, like the second hour of the reception. And so our like ideal number of hours for a wedding is 7 hours. It's our
Holy cronolas.
I don't know
That's
what
a full day.
It is a full day. It's our lucky number 7.
Sounds exhausting.
It is, but it's a beautiful thing. Like, and you are able to cover all of the important things that happen. You get in those 7 hours.
What about wacky groomsmen shenanigans?
That happens.
Yeah. What about wacky bridesmaid shenanigans?
Also equally entertaining.
If someone wanted to contact Photo Bohemia, aside from watching this video, what would be the means of contacting you to provide goods and services of the wedding photography type? If someone wanted to contact Photo Bohemia for the sake of hiring them of a wedding photography nature, how would one do that?
They could go to www.photobohemia.com.
Nothing down there.
There will be.
Oh. Well, this has been the most fascinating interview I've done all day, and I'm pretty proud of myself for having done it. Clark Brooks for Weddings and Coffee.
Wait, what? Always question with the Q. Questions help us learn things new. Question marks are very cool, especially when you're in school. Always question when you try.